Hi everybody. So I wanted to come on today and share the common themes that I see with my one-to-one clients who come to me for mindset transformation coaching. There are some themes, and these themes are things that were very present in my own life, so they're close to my own heart. My ideal clients are women who struggle with kind of how they react to circumstances and life. And there's lots of reasons for that, which I get into in a very deep way with one-to-one clients. But there are definitely themes across all of the people that I work with. And there's kind of two key things that I want to share that I think can make a really big difference to people, particularly as we head into Christmas, which can be an incredibly stressful time for a lot of women. So the first thing that I see is a lot of people kind of having anxiety about things that may or may not happen. So let's take Christmas as an example. Particularly this year, circumstances are that the COVID rant still carries on, and people are struggling to know whether or not they're going to be able to spend time with family at Christmas because the variant is on the rise. And they're what if I can't have people over for Christmas? What if I get COVID? What if the neighbours get it? What if our children are off school? What about childcare? All of those things. Now, I can understand that they are all valid concerns. What I would say though is whenever you find yourself worrying about something that starts with what if, it's future based. So it's a concern of something that may happen or may not happen, i.e. it's not something that's happening. Because the fact of the matter is, when you are faced with a situation and a reality, you deal with it in that moment. When you look back at all of the things that have happened that, let's take examples of things that you didn't want to happen, you have dealt with them. You are still here today. But our minds are wired in such a way that they try to predict what may happen in the future. And that creates anxiety. It's also a waste of energy, which our own energy is important all throughout the year, but never more so in winter and at Christmas. Because the future, by definition, is unknown. So if you notice yourself worrying about what may or may not happen in the future, bring yourself back to what is happening in this exact moment. The other thing that people do that I see a lot is they're very focused on things that have happened in the past that either didn't go how they wanted them to, and or they're still upset about them. So either something somebody said, a situation that happened, all of those things. There's a lot of people that are still very angry, frustrated, hurt about things that have happened in the past. Now, whilst that is completely normal, because that's again how we're wired, it's also completely unhelpful because the past is done. And what happens is a lot of people continue to relive something that's happened in the past that makes them unhappy, and therefore they are remaining unhappy in those unhappy emotions about something that happened weeks, months, years, sometimes even decades ago. Now, why that matters is when we relive a situation, and we can all relate to this, I'm sure. Somebody said something that upset you, or there was a situation that really kind of frustrated you. You relive it in your mind, usually thinking what you wish you'd said at the time. If you do that on an ongoing basis, what you do is you keep what happened all of that time ago in the present, and even more importantly than that, the feelings that you felt at the time, anger, frustration, fear, upset, come back in your body, and your body reacts as if that situation is happening in the moment. So if you think about let's say there's a situation that really frustrated you, and you might think about it 5, 10, 15 times a day. You're putting your body through those stress responses every time you think about it. Now, I know that you're not doing that intentionally. I have so much experience in the past with this. This was my reality for a long time. The reason why it really matters is stress is the biggest cause of illness across the world. So when we relive something or continue to make something in the past present, if you like, because we're continuing to relive it, we are putting our body under pressure for something that has long since gone. Now, the way to deal with both of these situations, past and future worries. So anxiety is worrying about the future, what may or may not happen, and worrying and being frustrated about the past is rumination. It's to recognize your thoughts and why you're upset when you notice them. So when you next feel frustrated, angry, stressed, any of those things, notice what's happening in your mind. If it's worrying about the future, know whatever happens is going to happen. You worrying about it isn't going to reduce the chance of it happening, and you're wasting valuable energy that you could be using to focus on the present. It's also worth saying that most of the things that we worry about never happen, and you're an incredibly capable woman. You will deal with whatever happens when you need to, because you always have. So really recognise if you are worrying about something that may or may not happen, bring yourself back to the present. What can you do in this present moment that best serves you? That might be getting super organised and getting a load of food ready and in the freezer in case you do have illness in your house. It could be going for a walk to clear your head. It could be spending half an hour cracking on with work to get something out of the way. What I know to be true is actually spending time on worrying about the future is an utter waste of your energy. If you find yourself ruminating about something that's happened in the past, remember, unless you have a time machine, and I don't know anybody that does, you can't change it. So you're continuing to allow something that upset you in the past, however long ago it was, to remain present. And it's affecting your body by you reliving those sensations, and you're making yourself miserable. It's still done, it's still in the past, you still can't change it. And on top of it, you're making yourself upset, which is impacting your body, it will be impacting your mindset, it will impact how you show up for your family, for your job, for your friends, all of those things. Now, I want to be really clear, there is no judgment from me here. This is how I lived my life for years. And I was tired, I was exhausted, I was burnt out, and I was unhappy. And there is another way. So using what I've said about bringing yourself back to the present and really noticing when you feel upset, stressed, anxious, what are you doing with your thoughts? Where are you allowing them to go? The mind will wander unless you target it effectively, unless you actually say, this is what I want you to focus on and here's what I'm doing in this moment. Sometimes it can be difficult for people to get out of those habits and patterns, and that's what they are. And that is the work that I do with people. So much of this happens unconsciously. We think that we don't know how to do things differently. We think that we are at the mercy, that we don't have a choice. What I know now is there is absolutely a choice. You can choose how you respond to every single thing that happens around you when you know how. This is the powerful work that I do with my one-to-one clients that I love. I love hearing from people. The things I hear from people regularly, I wish I'd worked with you sooner. I can't believe how amazing I feel. This is magical. I can't believe that I feel so much better and I haven't actually changed my circumstances. I've just changed how I relate to life and usually how I relate to myself as well. So this work is incredibly powerful. I love it. If you want to know more, get in touch. You can find my website, beyourbestyet.co.uk. You can email me, nikki@beyourbestyet.co.uk. That's Nikki, Nicky. And I am also on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Be Your Best Yet. This is the number one gift that I gave to myself, to really recognise that all of the stress and the drama was coming from me. It wasn't what other people were doing. That's what I thought. It wasn't that. It was how I was relating to myself, to life. I changed that. I now have so much more inner peace. I'm so much happier. Everybody around me is so much happier as a result. It's all possible. If you want to know more, get in touch.